Welcome to History Explained, where we illuminate the past to better understand our present. I'm your guide to your daily journey through the past to empower the future. Today is Monday, June 16, 2025. As we do every Monday, we're exploring the significant events that occurred on this date throughout history. June 16th has repeatedly emerged as a day of rebellion, discovery, and transformative political change. From ancient uprisings to modern youth movements, this date has witnessed events that challenged established orders and reshaped the course of nations. Let's begin our journey in the year 1487, when the Battle of Stoke Field was fought in England, marking the final battle of the Wars of the Roses. This engagement saw the forces of King Henry VII defeat the last Yorkist pretender, Lambert Simnel, who claimed to be Edward, Earl of Warwick. The battle effectively ended the dynastic civil wars that had plagued England for over 30 years, securing the Tudor dynasty's hold on the English throne and ushering in a new era of relative stability. Moving forward to 1586, we encounter the death of Mary, Queen of Scots' secretary, David Rizzio, though this actually occurred in 1566. However, on June 16, 1586, Mary herself was moved to Fotheringhay Castle, where she would spend her final months before her execution. This relocation marked the beginning of the end for the Scottish Queen, who had become a focal point for Catholic plots against Protestant England. June 16, 1633 brought us the forced recantation of Galileo Galilei before the Roman Inquisition. On this day, the great astronomer was compelled to renounce his support for the heliocentric theory proposed by Copernicus. Legend holds that after his recantation, Galileo muttered, "Eppur si muove," and yet it moves, referring to the Earth's motion around the Sun. Whether this actually occurred or not, Galileo's forced retraction represents one of history's most famous conflicts between scientific discovery and religious doctrine. The year 1775 saw the birth of one of America's most important founding documents. On June 16, the Continental Congress appointed George Washington as Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army. This appointment, made just one day before the Battle of Bunker Hill, marked Washington's emergence as the military leader of the American Revolution. His selection was politically astute, as it helped unite the colonies by choosing a Virginian to lead what had begun as primarily a New England conflict. June 16, 1816 marked a literary milestone with the famous ghost story competition at Villa Diodati near Lake Geneva. On this evening, Lord Byron proposed that he, Percy Bysshe Shelley, Mary Godwin, later Mary Shelley, and Dr. John Polidori each write a supernatural tale. This challenge would lead to Mary Shelley's creation of Frankenstein, one of the most influential works of literature ever written and widely considered the first science fiction novel. Moving into the Industrial Age, June 16, 1884 saw the first roller coaster in America begin operation at Coney Island. The Switchback Railway, built by Lamarcus Thompson, charged 5 cents for a ride and could reach the thrilling speed of 6 miles per hour. This innovation would revolutionize amusement parks and create an entirely new form of entertainment that remains popular today. The year 1903 brought the founding of the Ford Motor Company on June 16. Henry Ford's company would revolutionize not just transportation, but manufacturing itself through the development of the assembly line. Ford's vision of making automobiles affordable for ordinary Americans would transform society, changing everything from urban planning to courtship rituals. June 16, 1911 witnessed IBM's incorporation as the Computing Tabulating Recording Company. Originally formed through a merger of 3 companies, this entity would eventually become International Business Machines, one of the most influential technology companies in history. IBM would play crucial roles in everything from processing the 1890 US Census to developing early computers that would lay the groundwork for the digital age. Perhaps one of the most significant events associated with June 16 occurred in 1976 in Soweto, South Africa. On this day, students began protests against the imposition of Afrikaans as the language of instruction in their schools. The Soweto Uprising, as it became known, began with peaceful student demonstrations but escalated when police opened fire on the protesters. The iconic photograph of Hector Peterson, a 13-year-old boy killed in the violence, became a symbol of the brutality of apartheid and galvanized international opposition to the South African regime. The Soweto Uprising marked a turning point in the struggle against apartheid. The protests spread beyond Soweto to other townships and cities, and the international community's condemnation intensified. The images of police firing on schoolchildren shocked the world and led to increased sanctions and divestment movements that would eventually contribute to apartheid's downfall. June 16, 1963 saw Valentina Tereshkova become the first woman in space, launching aboard Vostok 6. The Soviet cosmonaut orbited Earth 48 times over nearly 3 days, proving that women could endure space travel just as well as men. Her achievement was a significant propaganda victory for the Soviet Union during the space race and inspired generations of women to pursue careers in science and aerospace. In more recent history, June 16, 1999 marked the end of NATO's bombing campaign in Yugoslavia. After 78 days of airstrikes aimed at stopping ethnic cleansing in Kosovo, Yugoslav President Slobodan Milosevic agreed to withdraw Serbian forces from the province. This conflict represented one of the first major military interventions justified primarily on humanitarian grounds and established important precedents for international intervention in cases of mass atrocities. Looking at cultural milestones, June 16 has also been significant in the world of sports and entertainment. In 1994, the FIFA World Cup began in the United States, marking the first time the world's most popular sporting event was held in America. Despite initial skepticism about American interest in soccer, the tournament was a massive success, with record attendance figures and significant television viewership. June 16 has repeatedly demonstrated how individual courage and collective action can challenge established systems and create lasting change. From Galileo's scientific integrity in the face of persecution to the students of Soweto who risked their lives for educational equality, this date reminds us that progress often requires people willing to stand up for their principles. The events of June 16 also illustrate the complex interplay between technology, politics, and social change. The founding of Ford Motor Company revolutionized transportation and manufacturing, while IBM's incorporation laid groundwork for the information age. These technological developments created new possibilities for human organization and communication that would eventually support movements for social justice and democratic change. As we reflect on these diverse events, we can see common themes of resistance to authority, pursuit of knowledge, and the transformative power of human innovation. Whether in the scientific discoveries of Galileo, the literary creativity sparked at Villa Diodati, or the courageous protest of Soweto students, June 16 reminds us that individuals and small groups can indeed change the course of history. Thank you for joining us for this day in history. Tomorrow, we'll be back with our Historical Figures episode where we'll be exploring the life and legacy of Frida Kahlo, examining how her art transformed personal pain into universal statements about identity, politics, and the human experience. If you enjoyed this journey through history, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. We'd also love to hear your thoughts. Which of today's historical events surprised you most or resonated with your own experiences? Let us know in the comments section below. For our members, this Sunday we'll have a special roundup of events from the past week with additional insights connecting current developments to the historical patterns we explore in our daily episodes. Until next time, I'm your guide for History Explained, where we believe that understanding yesterday is the key to navigating tomorrow.